is going on, everyone? Welcome back. It's the start of a brand new week here on DSP Gaming, and it's time to start strong. What a week we've got in store. First off, continuing on with all the awesome summertime vibes and playthroughs that we've had all July, now that we're firmly into August, and we got some new games coming out this week that we're going to be trying, so that's good. But in addition, ladies and gentlemen, TCG Madness has officially hit. Not only are we hitting a stride with trying out new kinds of sets rather than just Pokemon, but for those who don't know, it has officially happened. Pal World Card Mania is here. Not only do I have my box, but the hype has exploded. These cards are very sought after right now. Crazy value. Scalpers are going wild. We're going to talk all about it because actually the scalpers tried to pull a fast one and then kind of got slapped back a little bit, which is a good thing. So, it's all about Pal World today, or is it? Because, ladies and gentlemen, not only do I have my box of Pal World booster set, but also I've got two more kinds of cards coming today, and they will arrive likely during this stream. So the question is, who's interested? First of all, yeah, who's interested? And what are they? And what do we do? We're gonna go to so many options at this point. I don't even know where to start. So we'll talk all about it. Of course, I'm gonna talk about my day off. Yesterday was great. Plus the week coming. It's gonna be a good one and a great way to start the week. So everyone get ready because it is time right now for the first ever episode in August 2026 of the Level 1 Podcast. Backdrop again to go back to a darker tone for the month of August. You know, the splashing water summertime vibes of July. We'll tone them down a bit. Outside of that, I did update the animations for the month. You're going to notice some new ones here for the month of August. I did not change the pop-ups this month. Why not? Because we just changed them, if you remember. It was like first week, 2 weeks of July. We had like 4th of July Independence Day stuff. People didn't really like that vibe. It was too loud. So we went back to the classic gaming animations, and people really seem to like those. So I feel like we should keep those for the month of August, and then maybe as we head into the fall and September, then we'll mix it up and do some variety, okay? But the summer continues, and the good times continue here on the channel. We've got a great week. Now, just to let everyone know, 5-day streaming week for me this week. I have 2 days off coming up on Friday and Saturday of this week. Reason being, my July was insanely hectic with weird scheduling, tons of appointments, and all kinds of crazy stuff. I'm trying to get back on track, and I need to have like a big stock-up trip. One day I'm going to go out with my wife, and we're going to stock up the whole house on all the stuff that we're back on and have a good day out. We haven't had a good day out together in ages. So, that's coming up Friday, Saturday. So, I'll be here starting today all the way through Thursday. This is going to include continuing playthroughs of Assassin's Creed, Black Flag, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin with the ray tracing enabled, the path tracing enabled, as well as some new stuff. We've got Beast of Reincarnation that's going to start up on Tuesday. We're going to give it a go and see if it's any good. And of course, the new fan favorite Final Fantasy VI Pixel Remaster will also continue. So we've got a good variety of stuff coming up this week. No fighting games this week. And you might say, oh, why not? Well, number one, I'm not here Friday for Friday Night Fights. And number two, because the hot new fighting game, Marvel Tokon, releases this Friday. Since I won't be here, we're going to play it all day when I return on Sunday, August 8th. So, August 9th. I had the date wrong. So, it's the 9th. I got all my dates wrong. Friday is the 7th, not the 6th. For some reason, I kept thinking that Friday was the 6th. It's not. Hold on one second. What date does Marvel Tokon come out? The 6th. Oh. I had my dates all crossed. Well, this is interesting. We're playing Marvel Tokon on Thursday. I didn't even realize I will be here for the launch of Marvel Tokon. I had no clue. I thought it came out Friday. Well, we got a revelation live on the Level 1 podcast. So that means we're going to have 2 days of normalcy, and here's the schedule. Today it's going to be Assassin's Creed Black Flag on the first stream, and for the very first time, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond on the late stream. And I know for some reason that'll be disappointing, or some people, that will be disappointing, because some people are going to be like, man, I'm so sad that, Phil is going to do Pokemon on a late stream. We've always done it as an early stream, and I can't make the late streams. I hear you, but you got to understand that new releases always take priority around here, and in this case, we've been playing Pokemon as a daytime stream for many, many months. Something's got to give, and not everything can be a daytime stream. It's got to be Pokemon that hits the night stream. So that's going to be starting tonight, okay? Then tomorrow, the first stream will be Dark Souls 2, and tomorrow night will be Final Fantasy 7, so that's our Monday. Tuesday, we're trying Beast of Reincarnation. I have absolutely no idea if we're going to like it. It's from Game Freak, the makers of Pokemon, and it's their first real solo outing outside of the Pokemon license in a very long time. Therefore, who knows if it's going to be any good, but we're going to try it on Tuesday. Tuesday night, we'll probably do more Pokemon. And then Wednesday, on the day stream, it's a complete toss-up. Wednesday, it could be more Beast of Reincarnation. It could be Assassin's Creed. It could be Dark Souls. Late stream on Wednesday will be Final Fantasy. And then Thursday, since that is the release date, which I did not realize, we'll be playing Marvel Tokon all day long this coming Thursday for its release. So we got 2 new releases this week. I didn't even realize that until this moment. So, good stuff, all right? Okay. Tim the Tool, 3 months as a member, says, I thought it came out February 20th. I was way off. You thought Marvel Tokon came out February 20th? I wonder if it had a release date like that and it got delayed. I'm not sure, actually. Well, anyway, thank you. That's our first support of the day is Tim the Tool, 1492, became a member. Thank you for the membership. Thanks for the early support. I appreciate that, Tim. So that's the schedule for the week. It's going to be a great week of variety. Yeah, it's going to feel a little weird because we have 2 new things that are jumping in. It's going to feel bizarre. All right, it is. So, anyway, I'm excited for the content this week. I know that you are too. And it's going to be a good one. Now, not only will the gameplay and the chill vibes on the streams be a good one because of that, but TCG Mania continues. As you know, since around mid-May, I've been unpacking Pokemon cards. Then we moved into Magic cards. And now recently we did One Piece. Okay? But people have been saying, well, you've been doing all that and it's working, right? Would you try others? Would you try this? Would you try that? And I kept listening to all of your feedback. Well, there was something that I wanted to try that it's kind of on a whim. And to be honest, there really was very little risk. All right? This guy right here, Pal World, the game that came out 2.5 years ago in early access and caused all kinds of controversy in the industry for essentially ripping off the Pokemon IP, recently released its 1.0 release about a month ago, a little under, and I played it. I liked it. You didn't. Quite frankly, you guys found it incredibly boring when I played it and said that the open world wandering kind of felt like Breath of the Wild, but that it was very repetitive. You didn't like it. So we stopped playing it last week as a result. But the trading card game actually released just a few days ago. This launched, I think, 2 to 3 days ago, and it was cheap. I have to emphasize that, okay? It was cheap. This box sold at retail for around $47. $46.99 is actually what I paid for, retail price. Okay? 12 packs inside, 7 cards a pack. So, by TCG standards, it's skinny. It's a skimpy box. It's about half the size of what you would standard get from any TCG set. But I think it's because it's a brand new set and they didn't want to go crazy. They didn't want to start charging people hundreds of dollars for something that didn't have value yet. No one knew if it would take off, okay? So on a whim, you guys told me about it. I said, all right, I'll get it. Why not? It's cheap, right? I couldn't buy it direct from the company because the company didn't sell it direct to customers. You had to buy it from a business. So I actually bought it from a trading card business online. They shipped it to me, and it arrived yesterday. Ladies and gentlemen, you ready for this? You ready for this? This box, which sold at $47 initially, scalpers were trying to sell it for over $300, okay? It didn't work. It did not work. No one was buying this box for over $300. That's just wildly stupid. So now the market has adjusted a bit, and this box is selling for roughly $150. Some people are trying to push $200, but that's what you have to pay to get it now. Like, no exaggeration, you can't get this box for $47. It's sold out, and now you have to get it from a scalper for $150 to $200, okay? Now you might say, is there value to that? Like, why would it be so expensive? Well, allow me to show you a couple things about it that might be interesting, okay? So first off, the entire first set of Pal World cards are misprinted. You want to see? I want you to look right here at this corner of the box. What does that word say in the upper right-hand corner of the box? Pal Word. Yeah, it's a misprint. So they misprinted the entire first run. These cards were made in Singapore. So don't ask me why they misprinted them, because in Singapore, English is a very, very prominent language. So why they didn't know how to spell the name of the property of the cards, I have no idea. It's a pretty bad misprint, to be honest. Okay? So obviously they're going to fix that when the second run comes out, but everyone who bought the box initially here gets this misprinted version. All right? So right off the bat, when you get a misprint on a first line, it's going to have value, okay? That's number one, okay? Number two, inside, pretty much everyone is saying you're going to get a hit. Like, if you bought a box, everyone got a hit. The question is, what are the hits worth? And no one knows that answer because the cards are brand new. The market hasn't really decided yet. But taking a look at some of the cards that are being found, people love the looks of the hit cards. They're holographic. They have foil and print on them. And some people are trying to sell them on eBay for anywhere from $100 to over $200 for the hit cards. And some people have bid and bought them. So right now, it's pretty crazy because the market is fluctuating wildly and no one really knows what the value of Pal World will be. Initially, there's going to be hype and there's going to be people willing to pay top dollar because it's new. The way that people are looking at it is this. When the Pokemon cards first came out in the 1990s, no one suspected they would have any value. So they were all mistreated and, you know, tossed around, and kids played with them until they were all worn out. Today, if you have a box of Gen 1 Pokemon cards, it's worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Okay? So that's kind of what people are looking at. However, it's 2026, okay? And we have about 30 years of experience now with this kind of trading card. So if you were to ask me, would this have that level of value ever? My answer would be very simple.
No.
It will never have that level of value. That's a one-time occurrence that cards would ever have that level of value. However, if you do look at recent card sets that have launched, such as Disney's Lorcana, okay, they have good value. Like Lorcana's first set is worth thousands of dollars with cards in there that sell for a ton of money. And that only launched 3 years ago in 2023. So there is potential that Pal World could have really good value in the long term, but it's never going to hit Pokemon levels. Does that make sense? It won't. In order for it to hit Pokemon levels, you got to have 30 years of experience as a game franchise that people love. I mean, Pal World is semi-popular right now, but it's not blowing up and making insane record numbers or anything like that. It's certainly not the most profitable intellectual property in the world like Pokemon is. So, you know what I'm saying? So, you got to think of it two different ways, okay? The first way you got to think of it is, well, as an investor, right? If I were investing in cards, okay, I would save this box, keep it sealed, okay? I would put it inside of a plastic case, and I would just store it. And likely in 5 to 10 years, people will be like, the set 1 Pal World cards with the Pal Word misprint. Rare find, you know, thousands of dollars. And I'm not even kidding. If Pal World doesn't just die off, if Pal World continues as a game that's you know, popular, yes, I actually do feel like this box could have some value. So, if I were an investor, I would save the box. However, I'm not an investor. I'm not a Pokemon investor. I don't have a closet full of sealed cases. I'm not looking to ever resell. I'm a collector. I'm a hobbyist. Like many of you, I like the product. I like the idea of opening the cards, grading them, sorting them, pricing them, putting them on display. You know what I'm saying? So, that's the deal. So, in regards to this, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I think I should open it. I think that we should open these cards. We should take a look at them. We should see what they look like. Determine if we really like them. Compare them directly to Pokemon, because that's the competition. Are these cards better looking, worse looking, better quality, worse quality? What is the frequency of hits? In a Pokemon box, when we open a big box of Pokemon cards, right? It's 36 packs, and in those 36 packs, typically we get around, on average, I would argue, 5 to 6 hits, right? 5 or 6 in 36. Well, this is 12. That's 1/3 of that. Does that mean that there's only going to be 1 or 2 hits in the box? Will we get any hits in the box? Are you going to get screwed? You don't get any hits at all in your box? This is all experimental stuff. No one knows. So it's actually exciting to get in at the ground level at the very beginning of something and see what it's like. Like, we actually have no idea what's going to happen. We're going to open the box. The cards could be great. The cards could be shit. We could have a bunch of hits. We could have no hits. We could have cards that initially have no value and end up being thousands of dollars. We could end up having cards that people think are thousands of dollars and then eventually have no value at all. It's kind of exciting when you think of it that way. Like, we have absolutely no idea what's going to happen with these cards. So, it's kind of a cool idea rather than having the established thing already done and set for you and you kind of know what the value is. In this case, like, I don't know. We're going to have an amazing looking card. Like, I don't know, slab it and then hope that it has value, right? So, I just want to make that abundantly clear. If I were money-minded here and I was like, oh, I'm an investor, I got the first print run box with the misprint on it, I'm going to save the box. Well, I'm not. I'm probably going to save the box just because it has the misprint on it, just as like a, you know, a cool collectible thing. But I'm opening these cards, okay? So there you go. Now, the question is, do we want to start opening these today? Because we have options. First off, we still have just under half the box of this second box of Pokemon Pitch Black to open. All right? 17 packs remain. We still have hits remaining. I believe we had 3 hits so far in this box, so we have at least 1 to 2 hits guaranteed, and maybe more. Now, we already did get an amazing hit. It was that Chandelure, Mega Chandelure EX. So maybe that was our good card of the box, and we're not going to get any more. But we could keep going with these. Eventually, we are going to get to these and open them all, okay? However, as a direct result of the resounding success... What happened? Hold on. Erderming says, the other day, one of your pieces got the more expensive one. I might have misplaced it in the holder. No, I didn't. one? He says he wants me to make sure that this is centered. Okay, hold on. Make sure the card is centered. People are pretty, there we go. People are pretty nitpicky. He says he didn't think that this card was centered. All right? Well, it is now. There you go. So, due to the resounding success of the One Piece cards that we opened last week, it was the One Piece set 16 called the Time of Battle. All right? Not only did we like those cards, right? I loved the look of the cards. I thought they looked great. The art was great. The quality was great. The variety was great. The set is small, meaning I think I might have actually gotten the entire set of cards in the one box, which is always cool to get. And we got good hits, 3 hits that look awesome and made it to my Wall of Fame, right? So as a direct result of that, people are saying, hey, we want more. So guess what? I went out and I bought another box of One Piece cards. This time, I got set 15 called, I think it's called the Island Adventure on the Isle of Kami, which is the Sky Pia arc. If you don't remember the Sky Pia arc, there's an arc where they're on their first boat, not their second one, but their first ship, and they actually sail up water into the sky, into a floating island. And up there, there's an entire civilization of people separated from those on the planet that no one knew about. They all have superpowers, and the guy who's in charge acts like he's God. So he, Kami, and that's the plot line. So I actually watched that entire arc of One Piece. So if these cards have those characters, I should recognize them. Okay, that's good. To actually recognize a lot of the characters should be nice, okay? So, that's the set that I bought, and that is coming today. It's arriving today. In fact, take a quick look, get an update. It's out for delivery, but they don't have an estimated time as of yet, but it is coming today, okay? So that's cool. So not only do we have the remaining Pitch Black cards, not only do we have the Pal World first edition cards that everyone's hyped for right now, but we also have another box of One Piece cards coming. All right? But guess what? That's not all. There's more. Am I a good salesman or what? You ready for this? As a direct result of all of your feedback, you guys saying we want variety, we want fresh, we want different, I did something else. I got a box of Disney Lorcana cards. Now, this one is interesting because it's a bunch of Disney characters, okay? And I have no idea what interest level this is going to garner. These could flop huge and no one cares about them, or they could do really well. I don't know. For those who don't know, Lorcana started 3 years ago. Disney wanted to get into the TCG game, all right? And the first edition Lorcana cards are insanely valuable. However, recent sets, not so much, okay? I got one that was from, I believe it was either last year or earlier this year. It's called The Return of Jafar, okay? And this is a set that features Jafar from Aladdin, but a lot of other characters. In fact, this set, if I remember, because I was looking them up, has an over $300 Lion King card. Now, that's what I'm aiming for, because I grew up in an era when The Lion King was the shit. It was the big animated movie. It was my favorite animated movie then. It's still my favorite animated movie today. The original, not the CGI baloney, but the original hand-drawn art. I want that Lion King card. I'm getting it. One way or another, that Lion King card will be mine. Oh, yes. It will be mine. You understand me? So, yes, I actually got a box of Lorcana, and that box of Disney Lorcana is arriving today. Yes, today. So that means today we're going to have Pal World, we're going to have Pokemon, we're going to have One Piece, and we're going to have Lorcana. Wow. What do we choose? Oh, by the way, due to your overwhelming support last week, we burned through this box of Prismatic Evolutions. So guess what? I ordered another one, and it's coming today. So we're going to have another ultra premium box of Prismatic Evolutions coming. We got all of this. All right? So, now, herein lies the question. What do we do first? Because we want people to know what they're working towards with their support, right? We want people to be hyped for it. So the question is, what do we do? I don't know. If I had my choice, I would say let's do Pal World because this is insanely hype right now. This is white hot popular because it just released a couple days ago. People are opening the packs and loving the cards. People are like, ooh, misprint. It's a hype as hell. And you don't know what the value is going to be. If we get a poll, we could go on eBay and try to grade it out and see what people are selling it for to see the value of the cards. Okay? So, I would say Pal World. But I'm not the one person driving the ship. I take the feedback of my crew. Can you imagine if Edward Kenway just dictated to his crew constantly what they were doing and never asked for their feedback? Well, what kind of a ship would that be? What kind of a merry pirate band would they be, all right, if he didn't take in the feedback of his crew, all right? So let's take some feedback. Let's do a poll. Let's see what you guys want. I'm not saying this is 100% going to determine what we do today, but I want some feedback. What would you guys like to do? Let's go ahead and let's do a poll right now. Okay. And the other good news, and this is finally good news for me, I will have so many cards this week, I won't have to order anymore. Every single week, I always think I have more than enough, and then we burn through them, and I have to order right away in a panic trying to get stuff. I'll finally have so many that there's no possible way that we can run out this week unless you guys give me thousands of dollars a day. Anyway, let's do the poll, shall we? Okay, and here we go. Ready? So here come your polls. Please vote. Let's see what you guys want. I'm very curious what you guys will vote for. I have absolutely no clue what kind of interest there's going to be. Let's see. We got over 300 people on YouTube already. Thanks for being here. I'm sure we got good attendance on Kick. We almost always do, right? So if you're watching on YouTube, guys, do me a favor. Click the like button. All right? Let's go. Let's get a like going over on YouTube so that we can get good engagement and get this stream into the algorithm and people can find me on YouTube. All right? This is going to be a chill stream because we're going to be playing Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resync. We've had a great time with this game so far. We have basically been doing a lot of open world content and the like. So I think what we'll do today is I think there's one more rare hunt I want to do. I think it's the killer whale. And after that, then I want to just probably do more story because we haven't done the main story in a while. So we'll probably do that. We've done 3 of the 5 Templar hunts. So there's 2 left that obviously we'll do eventually. But it's just a nice chill way to play the game and just relax and not be too pressured into pushing through the story. Now, the problem is, sadly, these streams have not done so well recently. These Assassin's Creed streams. They haven't. I'm just being honest with you. Like, they do okay, but they don't do great. It seems like there's just not a ton of support for the game, even though it's a nice, chill summertime game. It fits in with the summertime vibe, you know, sailing around the ocean in the summer. And I like these streams. I think that they're great. But sadly, the support has not really done so well. All right? So my question for you then is, what do we change? Do we keep it as a daytime stream? Do we put it to night streams? I don't know. Also, you know, now we have these cards here today, and people will probably be pretty excited to see new sets of cards. Maybe we'll actually get some extra support just for that, separate from the game. I don't know. We have to see how today goes, okay? But I would hope that if you're here today, and you're enjoying the stream, that you would support it in some way. I would greatly appreciate that if you did. I don't like having games on the chopping block, as they say. I just don't. Like, I'm really enjoying this game, and we've already invested, you know, like 20+ hours into it, and I want to keep going. But I need to know that you guys want me to continue to play it. So after this podcast ends, if you're here live, stick around. And please support this stream. Let's go. Let's get support for Assassin's Creed and, of course, for the new cards. And let's have a good one, okay? Let's have a good start to the week. Let's hit this ground running with good momentum. Okay. Now, one other thing. I just want to talk a little bit about my day off yesterday, all right? And yesterday was a great day for me and my wife because we got to spend a lot of time together for a change. The only actual errands that I really had to do is I had to go grocery shopping, and I actually had to scrub out and change out both of Jasper's fountains. So our cat Jasper, we have 2 automatic water fountains, motorized, right? They have like a constant stream of water. He loves that. You know, very attractive to a cat to have like a fresh water stream. So we have one upstairs and one downstairs. And you have to clean them every 2 weeks. You have to scrub them out with a brush, and then you change out the filter and everything so it doesn't accumulate, you know, mold and dust and hair and crap like that. So I had to do that. But outside of those 2 little things, it was a very nice day. I spent a lot of time with my wife. We had some good food. We actually got some Mediterranean food for dinner, which was chicken shawarma with rice and a side of salad and a little bit of hummus. So a healthy dinner. It was quite good. I got to watch her play some of this bowling sim game that she's been playing recently. It's a simulator game where you run a bowling alley, which is pretty neat. Oh, hold on one second. There was a piece of pack foil on the floor from last week. I had accidentally dumped it on the floor, I guess, or dropped it. That was fun. And this game is kind of neat. But here's what I'll say. I really like the premise of a lot of these simulator games because they're very relaxing. You get into the groove of the game, whether it's you're setting up the things in the business, you're selling the product, you're hiring employees and having them set to do certain activities. Then you expand the size and scope of your business. I mean, I've played a few of them, right? We did Retro Rewind, which was the retro VHS tape rental store. We did that earlier in the year. And then just recently, we did TCG Card Store Simulator, which we played for a long time. And that was neat, too. So this is in the same vein as those, where basically, excuse me, basically, you are running a bowling alley and you're expanding the lanes. You're adding in customizations and things that make it look neat. You're adding things like a food stand with a whole bunch of different kinds of food you can sell. Then you start doing parties. Then you start adding arcade machines and claw machines and air hockey. You know, it's a pretty cool, premise, let's say. So I like it, but the one downfall of all of these sim games is that basically once you hit a certain level, they all become insanely grindy and they kind of run out of content. So for example, she was playing this game over the course of the week on and off. And then yesterday, it was the first chance I got to watch her play it. And I really enjoy watching my wife play these kind of games. It's neat to see the new things that unlock. And a lot of them have bugs and glitches that are pretty funny when they happen. But in regards to this one, right? So she hits level 7, all right? Because you hit levels. When you hit a level, there's actually a skill tree in this game. Like it's an RPG. So every time you level up, you get to pick abilities that will aid you in your, expanding and running of this business. And in regards to this, she hits level 7, and she's like, okay, so what's next? And she looks at level 8, there's a few little things, and then she's like, wait, what's next? Level 9, there's only 2 items, and then that's all the game has. She's like, wait, what? I haven't really played the game that long. It's not like she's been playing it for 40, 50 hours. She played it for like maybe 10 hours, right? She's already hitting the wall, and basically what's going to happen is she levels up another 1 or 2 times, and then the game has no other content. You just grind away, buying every possible expansion with the money you raise, and then that's the end of the game until they basically update it and add more content. And the reason is because a lot of these indie games just don't have a big budget. They're made by a small studio of a couple people. In this case, the game was like $15, so of course, this is not like a game that you know, it's going to be insanely lengthy and have insane amounts of content. It's going to have a limit, right? But then on top of that, to hit those levels, you have to grind a lot. Like, to get to level 5 or 6, fast-paced, all of a sudden, you want to hit level 7, you got to grind for like 5 hours of gameplay. Well, that's weird. It went from like half an hour to an hour per level to 5 hours. Yeah, because you're nearing the end of the game and they don't want you to rush to the end. So they artificially make it harder to get there. You see? So, in regards to the game, it was chill fun. I'm sure she'll continue to play it a little bit this week, but sadly, she's probably going to run out of stuff to do in it, and it's going to be boring after a bit. That is kind of the drawback of these sim games, is that most of them are cheap, but they have limited content. The exception would be some of the big ones. Like, for example, that Planet Zoo 2 is coming out in October. That's made by a major studio. They've got a big track record. I bet they're going to charge $50-$60, but I bet that game's going to have incredible amounts of content, so you won't run out right away. That one you probably play for like a month, you know? So, I watched her play the game. That was awesome. We relaxed. We watched some videos together. We actually had a lot of fun with Jasper Kitty. He came in the room with us when we were playing because her stuff's set up in the den. We don't actually have it set up like in the living room. We have all that stuff set up in the den. And with nice, relaxing, you know, we have a nice couch in there, a nice setup. So we're having a good time in the den watching her playing. Jasper comes in. I'm playing with him. We're petting him and everything while he's in there. He loves all the attention he's getting. And he loves that couch because it's a very comfy couch. So we had a lot of fun time in there. And then we went downstairs and we watched some TV together after the fact. And that was really fun. So it was just a nice, in general, relaxing day. Nothing really went wrong. It was quiet. I mean, there wasn't a lot of ruckus and noise bothering us during the day. It was just a really nice one. Okay, we had a great time with it, and I needed that. I really felt like I needed that because all July was chaos. It was like, oh, it's a day off. We have to run out and go to an appointment. We have to go do this and rush to do that. Or day off is a different day than usual. We're not used to that, and it throws our schedule into disarray. Finally now, for the month of August, it looks like things will get back to normal around here, a regular schedule, things going according to plan and going back to normal. So that's a good thing. Okay, I'm excited for that. And, I mean, we're going to have a lot to do in August. To be honest with you, we're going to have a ton of new games coming out. We're going to juggle that with these fun summertime playthroughs that we've been doing. It's going to be solid. It's going to be a really good time, I feel. So I hope that you guys are ready to chill with me all August long here on the channel. All right? Cool. So, that's that. Now, the poll completed. And I can already tell you that the poll was absolutely dominated by trolls. And the reason I say that is because what they do is they sit in their stupid chats and servers and restreams, and they all talk to each other. And already people told me that people voted for Lorcana overwhelmingly because they think that Lorcana will not work. They actually think that the Lorcana cards are not going to be interesting because it's Disney. And they think that people aren't going to, you know, want to contribute to see me unpack the Lorcana cards. So they all voted overwhelmingly for Arcana, okay, or Lorcana, excuse me. Which is funny. To be frank with you, the Lorcana cards, yeah, some of the normal cards don't look great, but the hits look amazing. Like, seriously, they're really good quality cards. So, I just find it funny that people, like, hate on Disney. Like, I remember years ago when I played Disney Dreamlight Valley, right? And people were like, ha, it's a kiddie game, no one's gonna like it. And then it ended up being a hit for a while. People really liked it and were supporting it and wanted more. Just, they don't get it. They're very simple-minded people, these trolls. So, to be honest with you, I think that Lorcana will work. But, to be honest, the second place winner was Palworld. And I think that the majority of legit viewers voted for Palworld. And then the trolls came in and troll voted Lorcana. I don't know what do you want to do? Like, I really don't know what to do. Like I said, my personal choice would be to do Palworld and then maybe do Lorcana after, because we just did One Piece, right? And One Piece, the next box I think will be great, but we don't have to rush into it. We can take our time before we get back to One Piece. You know what I'm saying? I think that that might be the way to go. By the way, shout out to John, who has upped his membership. Thank you, John. I appreciate that. Mercury Play says, well, why are you interested in Palworld? You dropped the game. I like the game. I really do. I would have kept playing it if we could have gotten interest for it, and we just didn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, we tried, and we could not retain interest. I don't know what to tell you. People weren't showing up and supporting the streams. So I literally said, let's not play, let's just hang out. And I hung out for an hour, and you guys flood supported the stream, and we ended up opening packs and everything. So that's what I mean. Like, sometimes the game doesn't work. You just want to hang out with me instead, and we do, and it works. So I'm not going to go back to that game, to be honest. I've already tried it twice, and both times had exactly the same result. People told me it was boring and wouldn't support it or show up for it, so I gave up. You know? I mean, there's not much I can really do about that. So, yeah. So, I guess, I mean, I would say either Pal World or Lorcana will be the next box, right? I think the Pal World cards are really exciting right now because no one knows the value. It'll be interesting to see what the hits look like because no one knows what they look like. And the pricing is completely unknown. No one knows what these things will go for. So I could get a card here that looks amazing and it's worth nothing. I could get a card that looks like shit and it's worth thousands of dollars. You know what I mean? Like, no one knows anything. So, I say Pal World. How about that? First thing we're going to do is open Pal World. Now, the good news is there's only 12 packs in the Pal World box. The packs are 7 cards each, right? And in regards to this, likely we're going to be done with them sooner rather than later, right? Even on a slow day around here, I still open a few packs. So we're going to be through Pal World, and then if you guys want Lorcana next, I'm down for that. Why don't we do Pal World first, which will be done quickly. That way we hit them when the hype is real for them, because the hype is real for them right now. And then we try Lorcana. That's what I think we should do. And then after that, we determine, do we open the One Piece? Do we go back and finish the Pitch Black box? I think that's what we should do. Okay? Okay, cool. Someone just tipped me $1, says, you and Couch should check out a game called Fields of Mystria. It's a 1.0 release in August 5th. I think you'll enjoy watching it with your wife. It's an art style inspired by Sailor Moon and 90s anime. Could also be a fun stream. I don't think she would like that then, to be honest. My wife does not like the anime style. She doesn't. Let me see. There it is. She would absolutely hate this game. She does not like the top-down style. She does not like the 8-bit art style. She does not like anime style. She would actually legit hate this game. Because, like, I asked her before about, like, she saw me play Stardew Valley, and she was like, no, I just don't like that art style. I can't stand it. So, sadly, she would not play Fields of Mystery. I appreciate the suggestion, but that is just not the kind of stuff she likes. Thank you for the $1. That's our first tip of the day. All right. So now that the music has picked up dramatically, it is time. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for you to hear me shill. Because it's time for Darkside Phil to tell you how you can support the content here on the channel. If you like the content, if you enjoy it, you find it entertaining, if you want to see me open cards, if you want to see me play games, if you want to see me have a great time, then it's time to support. If you're on the YouTube side, give the stream a like right now. No matter where you're watching, you can support the stream in some way. If you're on YouTube, you can do a super chat, a super thanks, a super chat, a super sticker, a super thanks if you're watching on demand, or you can become a member or give some memberships to your fellow viewer. If you're on the kick side of stuff, you could send some kicks my way, or you could do a sub, or you can give some subs to your fellow viewer. Or no matter how you're watching or when you're watching, you could send a tip. There's a link to the tips in the description of the video or stream, or you can use the tip command in chat if you're here live, which is !tip. And that'll give you the link so that you can actually tip via PayPal. Now, let's get some momentum going for today. Let's get some stuff, number one, going for Assassin's Creed, but also let's get some packs ripping on this stream. Obviously, I want to do my first episode of DSP pack rips of the week on this stream today, and you know how it works. If we get a $50 contribution, guaranteed pack opening. If we get a $100 contribution, guaranteed pack opening and bonus pack opening of the premium cards, which is currently Prismatic Evolutions. If we hit $100 of cumulative support across everyone, that's a pack opening. Then at 115, pack, 20, pack, 250, pack. If we hit 250 cumulative, another bonus pack of Prismatic Evolutions will be open. So let's go. Let's get Pal World, ripped open, cracked open. Let's get the hits. Let's see what the cards look like. Let's see if we can get the most rare card possible in Pal World. Gen 1, it'll be worth $100,000. Let's go. Can we already got a membership today, 2 actually. Can we get a sub? Can we get our first super chat of the day? Can we get our first kicks of the day? And can we get a tip bigger than a single dollar? Let's go. Let's get a little bit of support spread around. Let's get some momentum going towards opening cards. Let's open Pal World. Let's get hype for Lorcana. Let's go. Okay. All right. So, that was a lot to talk about. That was a whopping 45 minutes of me yapping. All right? Now, I'd like to be interactive. I'd like to take in your questions. I'd like to talk with you and have discussion for the rest of the show, see what's on everyone's mind here. Anything that's going on in gaming that I should know about. I'll be honest with you, I'm out of the loop because I had the day off and I wasn't really paying attention. So maybe there's something I missed that I should know about. I would love to hear it, okay? And thank you to Secret Rain, 4 months as a supporter, and says, I voted Lorcana, Phil. I believe you. So that's what we will do. These Pal World cards will be through quickly. We will. So few packs. And then we'll go to Lorcana. Jade, how you doing, man? Welcome back. How was your weekend? You went to that convention, right? Cool. All right, so tag me in either chat, and let's have a little bit of discussion. Let's see what's going on. Why is YouTube chat completely frozen? What has happened? Good morning, Clock Towered Mansion. What a name. Cube Dat Goat? No, I don't pay attention to any nonsense. I didn't see anyone reacting to any of my stuff. I don't care. I don't care. Oh, really? People Person says Ontos. This is the new game from the makers of Soma. Got delayed till 2027. Ah. Yeah, that is disappointing. Soma was great. Obviously, I'd like to play another game that makes you think. And man, did that game make you think, right? So... So Secret Rain has tipped me, has done a $10 super chat. That's our first super chat of the day. He says, can we play Dark Souls instead, Phil? We're doing it Dark Souls tomorrow, so no, but we'll play it tomorrow. Here's 10 doubloons to get the day started. Thanks for the doubloons. Edward Kenway will be happy. I just bought I just bought the X Real 1 Pro glasses. They're pretty cool. Not sure if you keep them or not. Yours truly, Rain. X Real 1 Pro glasses. I've never heard of these. Maybe I'll look them up. Hold on. Thank you for $10 of support. I appreciate that very much. That is a good start. Some good momentum. Let's see here. X Real 1 Pro glasses. X Real 1 Pro. AR glasses equipped with a self-developed spatial computing chip. What do they do? Like, I get it, it's AR, but what apps does it work with? What would you use this with? Like, I understand that the glasses have AR capabilities, but what do you do with them? No, Jasper does not have a catio. We're well aware what a catio is. Catio is when you build something, usually at the back of your house, like the back door of your house, where there's a way for your cat to go outside, but it's actually encased. Usually it's in like a almost like a porch or patio that has like a screen, like screens all around it. My great aunt used to have that. She used to actually have a back area of her house and like going into her backyard that was enclosed, like it had flooring and it had like almost like a cheap felt rug on the bottom, but it was all screens, so bugs and stuff couldn't really get in. You could sit there and have fresh air, but animals and stuff couldn't get at you. So essentially what a catio is you build a patio for your cat, but you put all kinds of cat-related stuff in there. You can put like big walkways, big, things for them to jump and climb on and play, but they're getting outdoor air and stuff without actually the risk of being outdoors. Does that make sense? But no, obviously we don't have a catio. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it seems like we are at a time period here where, sadly, gaming is going to change, and there's nothing that we can really do in regards to this. The pricing of everything has gone so high up at this point that it's not going to be a common man's thing. It used to be you could get a game console for a few $100s. You could get the games cheap usually. Now you're not going to get the hottest new games, but you could get a library of games on the cheap. You could buy third-party peripherals that were cheap. And that was it. Like, video games were very accessible to the masses. And now it seems like because what's happening with technology and pricing that it's not going to be accessible anymore. It's going to be more of almost like an elitist hobby where you have to have money to be able to afford a new console. Consoles are probably going to be priced over $1,000 moving forward, being honest. I think people need to actually hear that and be like, what? No, not shocked. That's reality. Is that gaming consoles are going to cost over $1,000. Gaming computers will probably cost $1,500 to $2,000. There's nothing we can do about it because technology has changed. AI is changing everything, and now everything's expensive. It's not really avoidable. There's not going to be any more physical media. Therefore, there's going to be no used game market. It's going to be all buying digital, which means buying, very pricey, out the nose. If you're on PC, it'll be a little different because there is a third-party market for game codes and stuff on PC. But there is little to no third-party market for digital codes on console. It just doesn't exist. So you're going to have to buy direct from Sony or whoever, and you're going to be paying out the nose. It'll be 5 years later. They'll still be charging $60 for a game that's old and no one plays. And there's nothing you can do about it. They're going to control it. So yeah, everything is changing right now. And sadly, we really do have to kind of accept it or say move on and go to other hobbies, It sucks because gaming became video games and gaming in general. When I say gaming, I don't mean card games and stuff. I'm just talking about video games, right? Video games became the #1 entertainment medium in the world. More people were playing video games, spending money on video games, etc., than any other form of entertainment. You have to understand that might change. What might happen is the only real prominent gaming might be right here on your phone because these games are free. These games, as long as you have a phone, you download the game on the phone and you play it for free. Now, of course, there's microtransactions out the butt, right? We know that. But hey, the game's free and you don't need an insane investment in order to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's realistic to do because everyone needs a phone regardless. So, yeah, it's that simple. Is gaming might be a phone thing because no one wants to spend thousands of dollars on a dedicated gaming machine anymore. And it's all digital and you don't want to spend a lot of money for digital, so you just play the freebie stuff, right? It sucks, but it is what it is. And I'm thinking, hey, at least for people who are streamers and creators, it's viable, right? This is our business. But sadly, for the common person, it may be more, hey, you want to see if the game's new or hot or interesting, you got to watch a creator before you invest. What's happened is, remember, a lot of people just buy games solely off hype. off marketing. But now it's going to be, well, it's too expensive. So I don't want to make an impulse buy just based on hype. I'm going to wait to see someone play it first, and then I'm going to judge for myself based on their experience with said game, if they liked it or not, if it's something that looks like I would want based on their gameplay, right? So, there you go. By the way, the cards are almost here. So, live on the show, I'm actually going to show you these new boxes of cards that I got. They're about to arrive. They're actually really close, so that's nice. Okay. Erdeming says, yesterday during your day off, I watched your Super Mario Sunshine playthrough. There were a lot of really funny moments. Yeah, but it was mostly rage moments. Because like I said, when I played Sunshine many years ago, it was a situation where I felt the game was very wonky. I was playing it on the Wii. It was a GameCube game emulated on the Wii. You put it in and it plays it. But it's basically running like an emulator. And the graphics weren't the best. I feel like basically what happened was I was using this upscaling device. What it is it would allow that signal from your Wii to go to an HDMI signal and then go to your PC. So it was kind of blurry. It didn't look great. And the game just felt wonky to me. Like, it felt like there was a lot of, how could I say, lack of polish. Most Mario games usually have a lot of polish. You could tell a lot of time and attention went into them. This one just didn't feel, it felt like the B team made it. Or like they cut out the quality assurance team. They laid them off. So no one actually tested it. I mean, there's some of those stages are almost unbeatable. Like, what happened? How did the game get this annoyingly hard? It's a Mario game, you know? And you could tell it's not intentional. It wasn't meant to be hard. They just, somehow in the design, they failed. So, listen, it's a Mario game. Some people even say that's like their favorite Mario game. I'm just going to tell you, I don't like Sunshine. I appreciate the world design. Like, I like the idea that it's this open world. You can use the jetpack to do platforming challenges and all of that. The water mechanic is completely unique, right? It's nothing like another Mario game. But I don't know. For me, like, at the end of the day, I just was like, wow, this is kind of a weird game. Disappointing, because usually for a Mario outing, you get this certain vibe, and I didn't really get it during that playthrough. But I think most of the moments that people like are the rage moments. When I'm playing the game and it frustrates me and I freak out, right? So anyway, for the record, Super Mario Sunshine is being re-released on the Switch, Switch 2's Nintendo Online for the premium subscription that includes the GameCube games. So this is an opportunity to maybe play it in, like, you know, HD and on a console where it will control well and everything. It'll basically look better than and probably play better than my first playthrough. I have no idea if you guys want me to do that this summer or not. Okay, I don't know. That's your call. If you're interested, I would consider it. I mean, I don't like the game, but if you wanted me to play it a second time and see me suffer again, if that's really what you want for me, you want to torture me. Like Dark Souls 2 isn't torture enough with this lighting mod where I can't see I'm playing blindfolded. And now you want me to play Super Mario Sunshine again. I mean, while I'm playing those two games, why don't we have a stream where I prominently just take, like, a big piece, like a 2x4, and just smash myself in the testicles over and over, too? I mean, it's about the same experience. So why don't we do that? Anyway. All right, let's see what else people are talking about. T-Object PTR says people will move to playing indie games on cheaper systems. Developers will need to prioritize performance to make their upcoming games run on older hardware. Interesting. People Person says the issue is phones won't give you an experience like The Last of Us. And at the same time, it's $800 price for Xbox Series X, no discs on PlayStation, 8-year development for AAA, etc. Well, I didn't say that everyone will be playing full-fledged, amazing gaming experiences on their phones. Here's the problem that what's happened in gaming in the last 5 to 10 years. All of the publishers, developers, and the people financing the games have literally moved away from quality and instead have turned games into money-printing ventures, right? How do we get a game that hooks the gamer? Now it's games as a service. So either they're going to spend a ton of money on microtransactions, or they're going to start buying seasonal content. Every time that we drop a new season of content, they have to spend more money. That's what they want. They no longer just want a game that you sell once, it does really well, and it's a work of art, and everyone talks about it, and it wins game awards. They don't care about that. They literally just care about, will the game make us tons of money? So what kind of games are pretty meaningless don't have any kind of real artistic value or cultural value, but are very repetitive and print money? Mobile games. 100%. Mobile games are some of the most profitable video games ever made, yet no one really talks about them. Let me ask you guys a question right now. Off the top of your minds, what do you think is the most profitable mobile game on the planet? Okay? I'm sure a few things will come to mind. You probably think of a few different mobile games that maybe people spend a lot of money on. What are the ones that have the biggest advertisement, right? Some people are saying Angry Birds, okay? What's the one? Isn't it Clash of Clans or something is like huge? It gets a lot of advertisement. And what's the other one? Raid Shadow Legends, right? That's one, right? Candy Crush, okay, fair enough. Maybe Candy Crush, okay. So we're talking about all those, right? Pokemon Go, perhaps. I don't know how much people spend on Pokemon Go, right? Clash Royale, I've heard of that one. Clash Royale, I've definitely heard of that one, right? Perhaps these are some of the longest running, biggest, most profitable games. Now, culturally relevant. Have any of those games ever made it to the Game Awards? Have any of those games actually been talked about or covered outside of a promotional opportunity where someone was paid to do it? Can you think of a single Clash of Clans actual full-time YouTuber? No, because they're not. They're not culturally relevant games. They're highly addictive. They definitely print money, but they're just not very good. They're meant to be time waster, addicting things where you sit around to play, but they don't actually have real relevance. Does that make sense? It's kind of like, you know what? It's kind of like what is something that's insanely money-making but has no cultural relevance whatsoever? Avatar. The Avatar movies. I'm not talking about the Avatar anime. I'm talking about Avatar, the movie series, the James Cameron movie series, right? Those movies have made insane amounts of money, but are they culturally relevant? Did Avatar ever go mainstream and have insane amounts of merch and talk like Star Wars or, Indiana Jones or the Marvel movies? No. They made a lot of money just because people went to see them and bought them on DVD, and that's about it. They're really not culturally relevant. They're kind of fluff, right? But they're money printers. And that's actually now what these game developers are seeking. They don't care about cultural relevance anymore. They don't care about if it's a good game. They just care about if the game makes them a lot of money. So because of that, I think what's going to happen is we're going to see a push towards more of those kind of games. Whether it's on console, PC, or a mobile platform, you're just going to see the game that's addictive, the game that has a seasonal formula that you have to pay for, a game that has tons of microtransactions that you sink money into. That's sadly where the focus of modern gaming seems to be moving. That's bad for us because we grew up at a time when these games were culturally relevant. You played a game that blew you away with its plot execution or its revolutionary graphics or its amazing gameplay. And now it seems like no one's even trying for that anymore. Instead, they're re-releasing Halo again. Again? So, yeah, it's sad, but what can you do? I mean, times change. Like I said, the only thing that we can really do is to not sit online and complain all day because it has zero relevance. Look what just happened with Sony. Sony outright said, we're well aware of the people online who are upset that we're phasing out physical discs. We don't care. It's just a lot of online noise, and we think that this will not affect us, and we're good. So, basically, sitting here complaining online doesn't work. You have to speak with your wallet. If you don't want mobile games to be the future, if you don't want games to go fully digital, then don't spend money on the companies that are doing that, right? Stop playing GTA Online and sinking money into it. Seriously, just stop right now. Stop playing a mobile game and doing microtransactions in it. Stop spending money on Sony properties if you think that what they're doing is heinous, phasing out the physical copies. Because if the money dries up, then these companies are forced to change. But if you keep spending the money because you're addicted, then guess what? They won't change. Okay? And it's funny because people are like the mobile game lecture from DSP Gaming. I don't play mobile games anymore. At all. I don't have a single mobile game on my phone, nor will I ever. I have no desire to play them, and I'm never spending another dollar on a mobile game ever again. I'm done with them. I've learned my lesson. I moved on. I'm not going to do that crap anymore. There you go. So Jade said he meant JR, Jerry. He meant Carrie. Oh, the APA, Karrion Kross, and Scarlett. Jeff and Matt, Hardy Boys, right? Ric Flair, wow. Tommaso Ciampa, Rick Steiner, Chavo Guerrero, Will Ospreay, Zelina Vega, Mickey James, Rhino, Sandman, and Booker T. Damn. You were busy. That must have been a stacked convention. That must have been a really popular one, because that's some top people there. Damn, Jade. Well, I'm glad you met all those people. I hope you had a good time. Usually when people say, oh, I met a couple people, it'll be like 4 people, right? You met like 12 people. That's cool. Very nice. What's up, Outlaw? How are you, man? No, I have not seen the new Street Fighter trailer. I have not. Nothing here says, hope you enjoy Larcana. There's 2 slots for hits per pack in ascending order. If the first hit slot you get is a super rare, the second hit slot is at least a super rare or higher. Oh, so that's interesting. That's a cool premise. If you get a hit, then you know you're going to get another hit, and it's going to be at least as good, if not better. That's cool. You're out at the bookstore, but you'll be back in time for gameplay. Sounds good, Adam. We're chilling. You know what we're doing? We're killing time. These new cards are arriving momentarily. So when they arrive, I'm going to bring them and show you on the podcast what they look like, because I'm excited for it. Will I return to Black Myth Wukong? Absolutely not. Will I give Final Fantasy VII Revelations a shot? Why would I when no one liked Rebirth? People found Rebirth boring as dirt, so why would I play Revelations, right? What is the latest movie I watched? Ooh, it's been a bit since I watched a movie. I saw a movie. This is a while ago. It was a movie where a guy was like the star of his own version of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. I don't know if any of you even know what Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood is anymore, because it's very ancient and they don't really make that kind of show anymore. But I used to watch Mr. Rogers when I was growing up. And this movie is a horror movie, because this guy is in Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. He's interacting with all the characters and puppets, right? But they're all real for some reason. Like, they're not actors, like they're real. And basically what happens is he's like nuts, and he didn't realize it, but he's actually like, I guess he's like supposed to be like schizophrenic or something. And he's reliving these things in his head that apparently there was like a heinous crime he committed. He can't figure out what it is. And at one point he gets attacked by them and stuff. It's a dark, twisted, sick, messed up movie with gore and everything. I can't remember what it was called, though. I think it was like something merry-go-round. I think that's what it was called, like something merry-go-round or something like that. And it was pretty creepy, scary movie. Once you realize what's really going on, that this is not real, he's just lost his mind. So anyway, I think that was one of the last movies I saw. I can't remember exactly when I saw it, though. A few months ago. All right, guess what? The delivery is here. So I'm going to go get it. I'll be right back. I literally will be back. I'm just going to go get it, guys, and then I'll show you the cards that just arrived. Be right back. Okay, I'm back, and I got the goods. You guys ready? So first off, as I promised you, another box of Prismatic Evolutions, and this is going to be the big rewards box, where if we get a $100 contribution all in one go, or if we hit 250 cumulative on any stream, we open a pack of this. So I got another one of this, so we would have it. Okay? Then we've got Disney Lorcana for the very first time. Reign of Jafar is the name of this set. So it's got Jafar from Aladdin in the middle. On the right there, I think that's Rapunzel. On the left, it's Minnie Mouse. That's about all I can tell. But I did look this up. So it is 24 packs, 12 cards per pack. So it's actually exactly the same as One Piece. It's actually the same exact amount of cards and everything in a box as One Piece. Okay? I looked these cards up, this set. There is a $300+ Lion King card in this set. I'm serious. I want it. I want the Lion King, man. I want it. So anyway, you can see it is factory sealed. It says Lorcana all over it. It is definitely sealed. No one opened it or anything. Although it is a little beat up, which kind of annoys me. The box edges they're kind of messed up, right? So, if you guys really want me to open Lorcana first, we will. Because people voted in the poll and said we want Lorcana. I'd be down for it. It's something different, you know? Let's see what the cards look like. Again, let's judge the value against other cards. I mean, I wanted to do Power World first, but if you guys really want Lorcana, we'll do Lorcana first. Okay? I wish I had the Lion King card, but we don't know till we open. We don't know if I have the Lion King card till we open the packs, all right? So if you want to see it, support right now. Let's go. Let's get some packs ripped, right? Let's do it. Nothing here says Lorcana has a simple rating system in ascending order. You can Google Lorcana rarity systems and have it handy. The higher the symbol, the more it's worth. Easy as that. Interesting. So they've done it very simply. Cool. So we got Lorcana. And then we've got the next One Piece box. After the last box was so successful, we had so many good hits and everything. This one is called Adventure on Kami's Island. And as you can see, there is... Wow, I can't even show you this way. Hold on, let me do it this way. I can't show you that way because of the lighting. Here we go. So, Adventure on Kami's Island. There's Luffy right in the middle, and then there is the guy who claims that he's God next to him. Okay? So same thing, 12 cards per pack, 24 packs per box. Looks awesome, so new set. And this is set 15. Last time we did set 16, so this is the one that's right before. Okay? And they gave me a bonus pack again from set 10 of the Japanese set. It is a Japanese pack. I don't know what set 10 is, but there it is, and the camera doesn't like it. All right. So, we got a lot of cards to go. We got Lorcana. We got Power World. We got One Piece. We got Pokemon. We got all the big ones, right? We really do. We got all the big sets. Very nice. Let me put these down here. Do you guys want Lorcana first? Is that really what you want? If you do, like I said, I will give you what you want. If it really is Lorcana you want first, we'll open that first this week. So, you let me know if that's really, if it was troll votes or if you guys really want it. If not, I'm going to do Power World, but we can hold off on Power World. Okay? Yes, people are saying Lorcana. You want it? All right. We'll do it. I will give you what you want. We'll do Lorcana first. Reign of Jafar it is. Let's see what these cards are like. Okay? All right. You want Olaf. Briara says, I want Olaf. Give me Olaf. Well, I want Goofy. Goofy better be in there. If Goofy's not in there, we've got a problem. Okay. What's going on? There's support. Holy crap. All right, so first off, Slippa Simpa did 500 kicks over on Kick. Thank you to Slippa Simpa for our first kicks of the day. Level 12 Barbarian did a $5 super chat and says, you make top tier content. I've been watching you for years. Keep it up and ignore all of your haters. Thank you so much to Lord Barbarian. And then I just received a $10 super chat from Onye Shodimu, who says, please open the Lion King card in the box. We want to see big pulls, Phil. Indeed. Do you really want me to look it up? Hold on. I'm going to look it up, and I'm going to tell you what the big hits are in that box. Well, in that set, not in that box. There's no guarantees you're ever going to get anything in a box. But let me take a look. I'm going to tell you right now the big hits in that set. Here it is, Lorcana. Now let me go to sets and series. Reign of Jafar. Here it is. There is. You ready? Stitch from Lilo and Stitch. A $338 card. There's a It Means No Worries Lion King card with Simba, Pumbaa, and Timon. That's worth $320. Into the Unknown. I don't even know what that is. That's worth $276. Ladies and gentlemen, hold on. Relax. You ready for this? There is a $229 Bambi card. Bambi. The baby deer. $229 Bambi card in that Lorcana set. What the heck is going on? What else is there in that set? There is a Jasmine from Aladdin, $180 card. Rapunzel, $171 card. Lady from Lady and the Tramp. That's right, the Cocker Spaniel, $158 card. Mushu from Mulan, $138 Eddie Murphy card. I don't know what Perdita is. That's $121. Kuzco, I think that's from Emperor's New Groove, $116. Lilo, there's a Lilo card, $108. Captain Hook, $80 card. Yeah, and I can keep going. So basically, there's a ton of cards that are between, like, so there's 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, up to 100. Yeah, there's a lot of hits. There's a lot of hits in that set. But man, I want that Lion King card. I'm not kidding. I want that. It looks great. I want it, but I don't know if I'm going to get it. We'll have to see. All right, Lorcana is next. We're doing Lorcana, something totally different. We'll hold off on the Power World. We'll do Power World later. We'll do Lorcana next. Thank you, Guitar Player, for a $5 super chat. It's good to see you, Guitar Player. I received an $8 tip from Comedy Master 9000. Let's get Disney packs open. Wow, you guys want the Disney. This is crazy. Hold on, because I'm trying to select the animation. Here it is. Thank you, Comedy Master, for $8. I appreciate that. Let's go. Let's get momentum for Lorcana. Let's open some Lorcana packs on stream today. I'm down for that. I seriously thought it was trolling, but I guess it's real because you guys are actually excited for it. So, cool. So now we're up to 50 bucks of support, halfway to our first milestone. I just got a 555 tip asking what is my favorite Disney character and why. Oh my goodness. That's a stacked question. There's a ridiculous amount of Disney characters. How on earth could I possibly think about all the characters from Disney all at once and tell you my favorite? I mean, the answer is obviously the leader of the juvenile delinquent kids in Pinocchio who smokes cigars and tries to get all the kids drinking, and then they all turn into donkeys. That's my, I forget his name, but that's my character. Overstuffed Wednesday Plus just dropped a giant sneaker. $5 5,000 kicks. And he says, let's rip some fucking packs. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. 5,000 kicks. Guess what? Boom. Just like that. We reach our first milestone and a bonus pack because that was a $50 contribution. We are doing DSP pack rips of Lorcana for the first time ever on this stream. We are opening the Reign of Jafar. At the end of this stream. How exciting. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get support. Let's keep going. Let's open 10 Lorcana packs on this stream. Let's get our first taste of Lorcana. I can taste the Lion King. What was, wait a minute. What was the top card that I told you? What was the most valuable card? I already forgot. I mean, I want the Lion King card. That's the one I want. But what was the one that I said? Let me look. It was Lorcana. Hold on, let me find it again. Lorcana. Reign of Jafar. The top card is Stitch. Oh. A $338 Stitch holofoil. But I want the It Means No Worries Simba, Pumbaa, and Timon Lion King card. That's worth $320. I want that Lion King card right here at the top of my wall. You understand? That's what I want. That's what I'm getting. That is it. We're doing it. It means no worries for the rest of your days. It's your problem-free philosophy. Hakuna goddamn Matata. That's what I'm talking about. All right. So, Lorcana today on this stream. We're already doing it. Let's go. Let's rally support and open more Arcana. So nothing here says don't get too excited. The enchanted cards are tough to get. People open several boxes to get one and still don't get it. I know. That's the same thing here. Like literally same thing with these cards here. I know how lucky I got. Like the first box I ever opened of Chaos Rising, I got the best card in the set. The first box of what is this, Paradox Rift that I opened in Pokemon, I got the best card in the set. I mean, that's insanely unreal that that would happen. I had good luck. You have to understand. The first box of One Piece I opened, I got 3 rare hits, 2 of which are some of the most sought-after cards in the box. They're not $1,000 cards, but they're still awesome cards. Like, I got some good luck. So, Lion King, baby, we're doing it. I'm getting it. Starshine Radiant says, I believe the key to success is finding balance in all things, and I believe you're finding a good balance of content to maximize your success right now. This is awesome because we already got early support. You know what I'm saying? We got early support. Things are going smooth. We're going to have a nice, chill, relaxing stream of Assassin's Creed, right? Then we're going to open Lorcana cards for the first time. This is going to be neat. It's going to be a great stream. Thank you, Secret Rain, for $2. Do you like Pete? Did you see the Goofy movie? Actually, I think I saw the Goofy movie once ever, a long time ago, and I don't really remember it. Yeah, I actually, when I was a kid growing up, I was into all the Disney movies, but I was not actually into, hold on. Yeah, I was not actually into, like the cartoons. Like, I didn't have Disney Channel, so I didn't see any of the regular Disney cartoons. So I wasn't into Goofy, Goof Troop, and that stuff. I wasn't. I liked Disney afternoon stuff, so I liked, like, Tailspin, Darkwing Duck, DuckTales and Chippendales Rescue Rangers. Like, that stuff I like. And Disney's Gargoyles I like. And then I liked all the movies. But I wasn't into, like, Goofy and Goof Troop and that kind of stuff. So when the Goofy movie came out, I didn't really care. I ended up seeing it later on. Okay. Have any cards moved in value significantly? Yeah, in the wrong way. Like, let me put it this way. With Pokemon cards, when a card goes up in value, it usually does it immediately, and then it dips over time. But then you might have a card that has a slow increase. There's no real, oh, all of a sudden overnight, a card's value has exponentially increased. It usually doesn't happen. All right? The one that had the big value change was my biggest hit. When I first got it, it was $380. Now it's only like $240. There's nothing you can do about that. New set comes out, the new set is hot, the old set declines in value. It always happens with cards, like 100%. No, I'm not interested in the Avatar fighting game. I don't watch the show. I haven't seen the movies, so I don't really care about the fighting game. Like I said, Marvel Tokon, we're playing starting this Thursday. That's going to be the one that I'm going to at least try. Oh, I know. Nothing here says, I hope they'll eventually try the newer Lorcana sets. Those introduce extremely rare iconic cards worth $10,000. I'm not joking. I know. I looked it up. They do have ones that are worth thousands. However, the problem is with these new sets, because the new sets introduce the new cards and have the Pixar characters in them, they're basically not obtainable. Like, I could have ordered one, but it's on back order, and it would have taken weeks to get. This was readily available. I said, since we're just trying the waters, testing the waters, let's just get what's out there, see if it's any good, and if people like it, then later on, maybe we could look towards better stuff. But let's try it first, right? Soul at 2 a.m., thanks for $2. Can you hum the Disney Channel theme? No, I didn't have the Disney Channel. That's what I mean. I didn't have it, so I don't know. I never watched it. Disney Afternoon was something that they actually put on regular TV, regular channels. It was off of the Disney Channel. Yes, I'm doing Metal Gear Solid 4 Remaster when it comes out in the collection at the end of the month. I don't know what to think about the new Virtual Fighter because there's not enough information about it to make a judgment. When there's more information, then I'll make a judgment. But right now, there really isn't. Let's see, nothing here says Lorcana has troves too, which are like mini booster boxes. 8 packs, cheaper and easier to get. Oh, I'll have to look into that. Troves. Okay. Dude, why hasn't Pixar made a good movie in 20 years? I don't know. Well, I'd have to look at the Pixar library and see what I've seen and what I've liked. But I just feel like at one point Pixar was trying to do innovative things, and then at one point they just went into a formulaic thing. You know what I mean? They stopped really trying to do stuff that stood out, or they trying to do stuff that maybe was too preachy. I don't know. Anya, I don't know, because we didn't get to play Marvel Tokon enough during the beta. I tried to play it on that one day that I dedicated to playing it, and half the day didn't work because it was down. The other half, we couldn't get matchmaking to work, so I had to play against people insane lag. And then when you're in insane lag, button mashing dominates. So I couldn't really judge at all if the game was good. I won't know till we actually get to play it. And I really, really hope they fixed it in the 2 weeks since the beta. If I buy this thing and it lags to shit online, it's going to be very, very upsetting. Yeah, Comedy Master says they made a new Toy Story movie, Toy Story 5. They put Conan O'Brien in it, and he said he didn't even bother to see the movie. That's funny. James says it's actually a good idea to wait for Pal World cards because the values for everything should be known within a few days. That makes sense. In a few days, that people will have put the cards on the market and tried to sell them and see what they sell for. Then you'll know what the valuable cards are in that set, right? Okay. Trying to decide if we should just start with Assassin's Creed because I'm realizing if I'm going to get some good amount of gameplay, and we probably have to start soon. Even though I'm enjoying hanging out with you guys, we've only had an hour and a half podcast. I'm like, you know, maybe we should actually start with gameplay to try to get a good amount of gameplay in, or else it might not happen, right? But here's the thing. We are now absolutely 100% going to do the first unpacking of Lorcana on this stream. We already have 2 packs guaranteed, all right? If we get more support, we'll do more. Obviously, I'd like to do more than just 2 packs on this first stream. So if you like the content today, please support it. And let's have an awesome first ever unpacking of Lorcana on this premiere stream. That's awesome, right? Well, nothing here, as always. It's just funny because he's saying the Lorcana community online is super nice because it's like a PG-rated, you know, thing because it's Disney. So they're nice people. I'm going to distance myself. I'm not going to include myself in any groupings of YouTubers or whatever because of the toxicity and the people that follow me and stalk me. Much like when I started with the Pokemon cards in May, and immediately I heard people were like, oh, the Pokemon YouTubers are mad at you, and they're like, what? Why? So let me get this straight. I'm a guy who's been streaming for 18 years. I'm a guy who's made content for 18 years, right? And I've been streaming full-time since 2017, okay? That probably means that I've been making content longer than any of these people who make the content, okay? Just be honest. I decide on a whim that I want to try something different. People have been suggesting it to me. And I said, all right. So I simply start doing it in a way that I want to do it, not a way that has any reference or any, you know, any kind of comparison to anyone else doing it. I said, I'm just going to do it my way, right? Here's how we're going to do it. Immediately, people have problems with it. Huh? Like, the moment I start doing something different, people have problems with it. Doesn't sound like it's my problem, does it? It sounds like it's everybody else's. Because I've been doing content for 18 years. If I decide I want to do something different on a stream and it's not necessarily in the realm of games, but something different, I have the ability to do that, and I can do it however I want, whenever I want, and no one has any ability to sit there and whine and criticize because it's not their content, it's mine, right? So I admit, in the last 3 months that we've been doing this, I've adopted it a bit, adjusted it, right? We were doing it one way. We said, all right, we'll change it. We'll do it different. And we did a little differently or whatever. We found the way that it works, right? Having these milestones, it works. People contribute to see it. It's part of the content. I even separated it to be its own show, so it's not part of the gameplay. The gameplay is separate. It's not all about me talking about cards and everything during gameplay, right? That was a distinct thing I changed. Why on earth would anyone be mad at me for opening packs of cards on a stream? That has something to do with them and their toxicity, not me. If any singular person had a problem that DSP bought Pokemon cards and opened them on his stream, that means they have some kind of a mental deficiency or problem, not me. Why are you worried about what I'm doing on my stream? What does it have to do with you? Nothing. And in truth, if it bothers you, it probably means your content's at risk because somebody else is doing it, and now you're upset about it, right? So maybe that says more about you than me. So that's what happened with the Pokemon stuff. Now, I started opening Magic cards. I started opening One Piece cards. I have absolutely no idea if anyone cares. In regards to Disney, again, this is just another thing I'm doing as part of my content. I would hope that it shouldn't or wouldn't affect anyone in another community. If the Disney Lorcana content creators are a nice community, I'm glad to hear that. I don't want to be a part of that or associate with that or have any toxicity or negativity towards them happening. So that's why I don't bring it up. I'm not even going to research it or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't want to talk about it because I feel like if I mention anything, it's going to be negative, right? If I say a word about anything, someone has to turn it into something toxic or negative, so I just prefer to say nothing. So here's what I have to say. If you're a Pokemon YouTuber, if you're a Magic YouTuber, if you are a One Piece YouTuber, if you're a Lorcana YouTuber, if you do it full-time or just as a hobby, if you've been doing it for 5 days or 5 years or, you know, longer than me, good luck. Good on ya. I wish you the best. I hope that you have good pulls and a great business for the rest of your life, right? I really do. It's nothing but positivity from me. But understand, I'm not part of your community. I don't wish to be because of the toxicity that follows me. That's why I stay away. That's why I'm not watching other people's content. I'm not referencing it. I'm not trying to copy it. I'm just doing it for myself the way that I do it. I just want to be left alone. So just don't bring me up. Keep my name out of your mouth, and then basically no one will bother you. But that's the problem, is these people are like, oh, I'm going to be toxic about Phil, and the next thing you know, they're probably got my trolls coming and talking to them and stuff, and it's like, that's what happens. You just got to, you kind of mind your own business. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I do. Have I mentioned a single PokeTuber? No, I don't know any of them. I don't care. So, yeah. We'll see what happens, but, yeah, I don't wish anything negative on anyone, and I do hope that, everyone out there makes good content. I'm not part of that. I'm just doing stuff for myself in my own way. Leave me alone. There you go. What's up, King Michael? How are you? Okay. Anything else you guys want to talk about before we jump into Assassin's Creed, or should we jump into Assassin's Creed? Last chance. Tag me in either chat if you have a question, or just a comment or something you want me to talk about or be aware of before we get started, because I would like to get started with gameplay. My day off was great, King Michael. I've talked about it on the show. It was great. No, it's hilarious. You see what they're saying on X? I don't care. I'm on X, and I don't see what they're saying on X. That should tell you about how important it is when people talk about me on X. Nothing. Doesn't matter. Doesn't affect me. It's nonsense. It's white noise from a bunch of boring people who spend all their time online, and their opinions don't matter. I don't care what people say about me on X at all. I don't give a fuck. Okay. All right, I guess that's it. I'm being told there's new Yu-Gi-Oh cards coming in September. Oh, I don't, again, I'm not into Yu-Gi-Oh. Like, it's so funny because people keep saying Yu-Gi-Oh, right? Just because it's a prominent TCG. But, like, of all the ones to do, Yu-Gi-Oh was, like, the last one I would ever do. Like, I literally know nothing at all about Yu-Gi-Oh. I don't play it. I don't know it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, like, the last one I would do. Disney, I actually have seen Disney movies. I used to watch it. You know what I'm saying? So... That's cool. Nothing here. That is cool. He says, enjoyed Lorcana. A lot of fans are parents. They open cards with their kids and stuff. That's neat. That's neat. I'm glad to hear that. Again, you understand why I don't want to associate with any of that and have anything negative come to it because these idiots on the internet, right? Like, you know me. I'm just going to open the cards and enjoy them and mind my own business. That doesn't mean that other idiots won't do toxic stuff, though. I don't know what you mean, Max Wick, by serialized. What does that mean? The cards are serialized. Would I consider going on the kill stream to celebrate recent dubs? Ralph has never, Ethan Ralph has literally never contacted me. behind the scenes for any kind of association whatsoever. I don't think he has a single desire to have me on his show. I don't think that he thinks it would add anything. I don't think that anything that he talks about or covers is anything that I am associated with. Why on earth would he want me on his show? Right? Does he not just constantly do content like drama content, you know, that kind of stuff? I don't do it. So why would he ever want me as part of his content? Right? Nothing here says I think you're good. The Poketubers that were jealous of the Poketubers that had issue with you likely were jealous of you because you got good pearls early on, like the Pikachu. I guess they really wanted this hyper rare Pikachu from Surging Sparks that they couldn't get, and I got it live, so they're upset with me. Well, good for them. In truth, if you're going to be upset at someone else's success like that, then just don't pay attention to them, right? Like, if you're someone that becomes insanely jealous at someone else having success, then don't pay attention to other people who are successful. Just mind your own business. Because that's just awful that you go through life mad at everyone else around you. Huh? I don't know. Anyway. All right, folks, let's end the show. Now, to remind you, this is a short week, only 5 days of streaming for me. It's going to be a good week. We're going to have Beast of Reincarnation. We're going to see if that's any good. We're going to do Marvel Tokon on Thursday. We're going to see if that's any good, right? So, I think that's great. And I think it's exciting. I think it's going to be a great week. There will be a Level 1 podcast returning on Thursday morning, and we'll talk then about how the week went and what's coming up next week and all of that. Okay? Good stuff? Alrighty, guys. Wow, this is an interesting song playing. Okay. Thanks for watching the Level 1 podcast. I'm excited. Lorcana today. The first time ever, right? And we got all kinds of fun, chill vibes and good content coming up. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Peace out. Hi, I'm back. Let's get set up for Assassin's Creed. Have a good afternoon of that, and we're going to open at least 2 packs. Please support the stream, guys.